Let's create a budget. Let's get out of debt. Let's build wealth.
Guys, welcome back to the channel. So we're going to continue on with dissecting velocity banking. So far, we kind of talked about how to use it with a credit card, how interest rates and the length of the loan affects velocity banking. And not only is it affected, but it affects its effectiveness of velocity banking. So today we're going to look at our goals. So we know that velocity banking is a strategy to help us get out of debt. And sometimes it's not enough to just think to yourself, I just want to get out of debt. You need to set specific goals on what you're trying to accomplish. I think a lot of times, velocity banking, we acquire a line of credit. We take a chunk from that line of credit, we dump it onto debt, but we don't really have a specific goal in mind. Our mind is a broad goal of just getting out of debt. And, when we tell our brain something like, hey, I want to get out of debt, and then we just look at the velocity banking strategy and say, hey, we're going to use this to get out of debt. Sometimes it's not enough. Um, you got to really understand the process and understand what it is that you're going to be doing, because think about it. Let's think about a runner, for example. If someone, let's say you're kind of out of shape, or you just see someone running or jogging, and you decide, hey, I'm going to go start running. If you go and try to start running without having ran for years, you're probably going to quit. You're probably going to stop. As soon as you start to run, you're going to feel some pain. You're going to feel, your legs or shins are going to start hurting, and you're going to quit. Your brain is naturally just going to tell you to quit. But if you have some kind of drive, some kind of purpose, and you want to do that, then you can mentally prepare yourself and say, hey, I know that once I start running, I'm going to want to give up. I know it's going to start hurting. I know I'm going to get tired. I know I'm going to get up. But you can mentally prepare yourself to know that those things are going to come. And when that happens, you can push through and run a little bit farther. So before you even start velocity and you're telling yourself, hey, I want to get out of debt, understand that just like running, you're going to have those shin splints. You're going to have that tiredness. You're going to have that, your body is going to start to hurt and ache. You got to understand when you decide to get out of debt, especially if you're using the velocity banking strategy, that the fact that you're in debt means you spent money at some point to get into debt, right? So those natural, if your velocity bank is all about parking your cash into a line of credit. But when those desires come up, like, hey, I need to do this, or I want to go to the mall, or I want to buy this, you just haven't, if you've been spending and buying things for so long, those natural tendencies are probably going to come up again. So before you even start velocity banking, you got to think to yourself, okay, I may have to cut back on some things, something that you haven't done in a really long time. If you have a natural desire to go every weekend, you get bored and you go out and you spend money and you buy stuff, and you just gotta understand that those same desires and feelings, just like a runner would understand that hurt is going to enter their body, those feelings are going to enter your brain and be telling you, hey, let's go shopping, let's do this, let's do that, and you're going to have to deny yourself some things. And you're only denying yourself for a short amount of time, just until you reach a goal to get out of a certain amount of debt. If you wanted to say reward yourself for getting out of debt or something like that, I mean, you could do that, but you got to understand that this may happen to you. And as those thoughts start coming into your head, to see, one thing about velocity banking too is start having more money faster. And if you have no goals, then you're naturally going to be like, oh, I got extra money. I can go, maybe get a channel, that costs extra money just to see sports team that you like, or you know, let me go join the gym, and it's like a double whammy, right? I mean, just like you saw someone running, you decide to go run, and pain and hurt starts to enter your body. If you think, okay, I'm gonna start working out, I'm gonna join the gym, and then you go like the first day, and then you never go again. It's almost like you're reversing everything that's happening. You got to understand before you even start this that those thoughts are going to come out. And when those thoughts come up, if you have no goal, if your goal was just to get out of debt, those thoughts come up, you're probably going to give in to that temptation every now and then. But if you have goals, then your brain will start to understand. You got to basically train your brain that no, I'm not going to go, to the gym. I'll just work out at home, or I'm not going to go get a new pair of shoes. Not that I'm never going to get a new pair of shoes. It's just that if you go get that new pair of shoes at that 120 and velocity banking is the effect of it is more than just $120 because it's going to drop that total line of credit, that daily balance is going to drop it by $120. And it's not just going to drop it by $120. That's $120 less every single day that it's going to drop it by. So you will actually be paying interest on $120 extra daily if you did this. So you got to have a goal, have a specific goal on what you want to set. And that specific goal that you have, and that could be the length of the loan. It could be, I want to pay off $5,000 of debt in 3 or 4 months. Or if you actually map this out before you even start it, that by doing velocity banking strategy, it's going to get me out of debt in 3 months. And every little extra thing you do is going to push that out by a few days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. And if you don't stick to that, and if maybe after that 3 months, say, if you have that goal and that goal is in your mind, you could convince your mind that, hey, I will get new shoes after 3 months. I will start my gym membership after 3 months. I will get my sports channel, my clothes, and all the things I want after 3 months. And that goal and that time can be anything, but just having that is going to help you. You got to have a disciplined mind and a goal. And if if you're wanting to set certain goals, it's best to write those goals out. I mean, by writing it out and by seeing it and looking at it, everybody learns different. Everybody does things differently. When it comes to actually writing out your goals, this will benefit everyone. Seeing that daily and before you go to bed, by reading that and knowing that, it's going to keep you on track. So, guys, I mean, velocity banking, as far as its effectiveness on interest rate loans, credit cards, there's a lot of human emotion involved also, and there's a lot of discipline involved. And without that, it just isn't going to be as effective, and it may even backfire and may take you longer and take you deeper into debt. So just be careful when you're thinking about starting velocity banking. Just remember that if you're going to be starting this, think of it like, I'm going to go run, especially if you haven't ran forever, or I'm going to join a, think of it like a New Year's resolution, right? I mean, 90% of all New Year resolutions are done by February. And if you come into this like that, you're going to dig yourself deeper into debt because you're paying a daily simple interest. It can be dangerous if you're paying it daily at a high level. Again, just have the discipline, set your goals, know exactly what you want to do, and whether you think you can do it or not, just set those goals. Goals are going to eventually, and by reading it every day and every night, you're programming your subconscious. And as you do that, it's going to start to change the way you think. It's going to start pushing money towards debt and helping you get out of debt than to push towards your desires of wanting to go get more, wanting to have more, or wanting to, you know, um, go shopping and go work out, or these desires. They're kind of false desires because if you don't have the discipline to set a goal in velocity banking, you're probably not going to have the discipline to stick to something on what you think that you want, and again, wants and needs, think to yourself, is this a want or is this a need? So guys, I hope you found value in this video. If you did, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and I'll see you in the next one.